The crystal chandeliers at the Grand Aurora in downtown Chicago cast a warm golden glow over the long tables covered in crisp white Italian linens. Laughter echoed softly against the high ceilings as the rehearsal dinner for my sister Lauren's wedding unfolded in extravagant style. I sat at the far end of the family table in my plain navy dress, fork in hand, watching everyone else sparkle in their tailored suits and designer gowns. Lauren commanded the center seat, her 4-carat engagement ring flashing every time she waved her hands to emphasize a story. I knew exactly how much that ring cost, $52,000, because the charge had shown up on my American Express statement 3 months earlier. The seared scallops were exquisite, but my appetite had faded hours ago. Our mother leaned toward Lauren with a proud smile, dabbing her lips delicately. "Darling, this menu is perfection. You've always had such refined taste." Lauren tossed her freshly balaged hair, the highlights alone running $950 at the city's most exclusive salon, a charge I had also spotted on my visa the same week. Dad raised his glass of aged Cabernet. "To Lauren, who knows exactly what she deserves. Here's to a lifetime of happiness with Ryan." Glasses clinked all around. No one glanced my way. My younger brother Tyler finally noticed me. "Emily, you're awfully quiet over there. Everything okay?" I offered a small smile, slicing into my grilled chicken. "Just taking it all in." The rehearsal dinner tab alone was $19,500 for 70 guests. That hit my MasterCard 4 days ago. Lauren laughed lightly, her voice carrying. "She's always quiet. What could she add to talk about luxury weddings anyway? Emily has that dull government job and lives in her tiny one-bedroom walk-up." Mom nodded with exaggerated sympathy. "Sweetheart, we keep saying you need to get out more. Look at your sister. She's marrying a hedge fund manager. You're 33 and still single." "Work keeps me occupied," I replied evenly. Lauren snorted. "Work? You're some kind of bank auditor, right? How exciting." She turned to Ryan, who sat beside her in a bespoke charcoal suit, smirking confidently. "Ryan pulls in more from one bonus than Emily probably earns in a year." Ryan chuckled. "Finance is where the real action is. Government oversight sounds quaint." I took a sip of ice water. "Something like that. In reality, I was a senior special agent with the Federal Reserve's Criminal Investigation Division, specializing in financial fraud and identity theft cases. 8 years in, after 2 with the FBI's white-collar crime squad. My family had long ago decided I was the plain, underachieving sister, and I had stopped correcting them years ago. It wasn't worth the eye rolls." Aunt Carla leaned across the table. "Emily, honey, let Lauren give you wardrobe advice. That dress looks like it came from the clearance rack." "It's comfortable," I said. Lauren echoed mockingly. "Comfortable. That's Emily's whole vibe. Comfortable job. Comfortable apartment. Comfortable everything. Some of us actually chase bigger things." The table erupted in laughter. Cousin Hannah was filming on her phone for her 60,000 Instagram followers, capturing every glamorous moment of Lauren's luxury wedding weekend. Dad prompted Ryan to share details about a major merger he was closing. I listened intently, noting several red flags, potential regulatory violations, but kept silent. The family hung on his every word, praising his sharp instincts. "That's the drive that creates real wealth," Dad said. "Not these government types coasting on pensions." Tyler chimed in. "Dad's right. Emily, when are you going to get a real job in the private sector where you can actually earn?" "I'm content where I am," I answered. Lauren's eyes gleamed with mischief as she leaned forward. "Everyone, I have a little confession." She paused for effect, ensuring all eyes were on her. "I've been using Emily's credit cards to cover the wedding costs." The table fell silent for a beat. Mom laughed nervously. "Lauren, Stop teasing. I'm serious, Lauren grinned. 6 months ago, when Emily handed me her wallet at that bistro, I snapped photos of all her cards, numbers, codes, expiration dates, everything. My stomach tightened, but I kept my face neutral. You're joking, Aunt Carla said, smiling uncertainly. Dead serious, Lauren continued. The gown, flowers, venue deposit, catering, almost everything's gone on her cards. Ryan shifted uncomfortably. Lauren waved him off. It's hilarious. What's she going to do? We're family. She won't ruin my dream wedding over this. Dad frowned slightly. Lauren, that seems excessive.
Oh.
Come on.
Dad, she dismissed.
Emily makes good money and never spends it. She hoards it in her boring savings. Consider it her generous wedding gift to me. Tyler asked, amused. How much total? Lauren scrolled her phone. Gown $13,500. Alterations $2,200. Flowers $9,000. Venue deposit $27,000. Catering $47,000 for 200 guests. Bora Bora honeymoon $19,500. Photography package $16,000. Tonight's dinner $19,500. Band $13,000. Invitations $3,500. She kept going, each figure landing like a quiet blow. Mom's eyes widened. That's over $160,000. $172, $650 exactly, Lauren said proudly. Plus extras like hair, makeup, gifts, probably pushing $195,000 total. The table sat stunned. Ryan muttered, Babe, you said your parents were covering most of it. Lauren shrugged. They're chipping in some, but Emily's handling the rest, whether she realized it or not. I set my fork down carefully. The air felt thick. The laughter from moments ago replaced by a heavy tension. This wasn't just overspending. This was deliberate theft. I met Lauren's gaze steadily. So, you're admitting you stole my credit card information and made unauthorized charges totaling around $195,000? She rolled her eyes. Stealing? Sisters sharing? You can afford it. Emily, stop being dramatic. Actually, I said calmly, using someone's card details without consent is identity theft and credit card fraud, federal felonies, regardless of family ties. Lauren scoffed. Here we go with the boring bank auditor act. What are you going to do? Report me? Ruin my wedding? Mom patted Lauren's hand. Emily, honey, this is family. You wouldn't press charges against your own sister. We all help each other. Dad added. You let me take $5,000 for Tyler's car last year. I said yes after you asked. I pointed out. Lauren challenged. You would have said no to me. You're selfish. I just skipped the asking part. Hannah's phone was trained squarely on me now, capturing everything. Tyler shrugged. You're really going to call the cops on your sister during her wedding weekend? That makes you the family villain. I scanned the faces around the table, expectation that I would quietly absorb the loss.
Smile.
And let Lauren have her perfect day. They had already written me off as the lesser sister, whose resources were fair game. Just to confirm, I said slowly, you deliberately photographed my cards, used them for nearly $195,000 in charges, and did so thinking family ties protected you. Yes, Lauren snapped. What are you going to do about it? I don't have the cash to repay. Ryan and I used our savings for the house down payment. Ryan looked uneasy. Lauren, you told me your parents were paying. They were supposed to contribute more, but investments dipped, she said, tears forming dramatically. I couldn't have a budget wedding. Everyone would talk. The table erupted into nervous chatter. I pulled out my phone and opened the secure Federal Reserve app. Who are you texting? Lauren demanded. Not texting, I replied. Filing an official report. Laughter rippled again. With who? The BBB. I entered the details, suspect info. Evidence summary. Witness statements. My credentials autofilled. Senior Special Agent Emily Harper. Federal Reserve Criminal Investigation Division. Ryan said dismissively. Emily works for the Fed examining banks, not handling individual cases. I kept typing. The Division of Banking Supervision handles regulation. I'm in criminal investigations, financial crimes, identity theft, fraud. The laughter faded. Lauren's voice wavered. You're not a federal agent. I am, I corrected. 8 years here, 2 with the FBI's Financial Crimes Unit before that. I specialize in identity theft. Mom's face paled. You never told us you were an agent. I did, at Thanksgiving 2019, after my promotion. You changed the subject to Lauren's new boyfriend and called my job boring. Silence blanketed the table. Ryan cleared his throat. You're not seriously prosecuting your sister. Report is filed. I showed the screen with the Federal Reserve seal, badge number, and auto-generated case ID. As a federal agent, I'm required to report felonies I witness, family or not. Dad pleaded. Emily, let's discuss this privately. We can work it out. Nothing to work out. Investigation is active. Agents are en route about 10 minutes out. Chaos erupted. Tyler Googled penalties. Aunt Carla called her lawyer husband. Hannah deleted videos frantically. Mom whispered urgently to Lauren,
who sobbed into her napkin.
Ryan moved seats away, calling someone repeatedly. I had no knowledge, Dad tried reasoning. The money spent. Don't ruin tomorrow. It's about principle, I said quietly. Principle. Mom scoffed. Family supports family. I explained jurisdiction. Cross-state card issuers. Multi-state vendors. International honeymoon made it federal. FBI and Secret Service would likely join. The restaurant hushed. Other diners watched. Ryan stood. We're leaving. Fleeing adds charges and implies conspiracy, I warned. He sat back down heavily. My phone buzzed. Assistant Director Chen. Report received. Team 12 minutes out. Need backup. I replied. Stable. Suspects not fleeing. Lauren's hands shook. You can't do this to me. It's my wedding. Should have considered that before the felonies. Mom snapped. Emily Elizabeth Harper. Drop this immediately. With respect, Mom, you have no authority over federal investigations. The manager approached about noise. I flashed my badge. Federal operation incoming. Preserve security footage, it's evidence. He retreated quickly. Over the next minutes, the wait settled. Lauren whispered apologies, offering to repay somehow. With what? I asked. Sell the house. Return deposits, Ryan blurted. That's for the court to decide. Restitution part of sentencing. Sentencing? Lauren echoed faintly. Over $100,000 in fraud typically means 5 to 10 years federal prison. Plus identity theft adds time. The doors opened. Assistant Director Chen entered with 4 FBI agents in windbreakers and 2 Secret Service agents in suits. The room fell silent as they approached. Agent Harper, Chen said formally. Suspect is Lauren Harper, I indicated. Confessed to identity theft and fraud before witnesses 20 minutes ago. One agent asked if recorded. Hannah reluctantly handed over her phone. Chen addressed Lauren. MS. Harper. We need to speak with you. You have the right to an attorney. Lauren requested one immediately. Warrants were already in motion for records. The evening had transformed into an active crime scene. Agents separated Lauren and Ryan for individual questioning. Lauren was led to the private dining room, mascara streaking as an FBI agent took her statement. Ryan sat at the bar, shell-shocked. repeating he knew nothing. My parents alternated between pleading with me and the agents. This is a family misunderstanding, Mom insisted to Chen.
Mom.
Your daughter admitted to nearly $195,000 in unauthorized charges, Chen replied patiently. That's multiple felonies. Not a misunderstanding. Dad offered immediate repayment. Restitution doesn't erase the crime, an FBI agent explained. If someone robs a bank and returns the money, they still robbed the bank. The manager coordinated to preserve footage while allowing other patrons to leave discreetly. Phones were collected as evidence from those who recorded. Tyler, had slipped out early. Relatives who had mocked me earlier avoided eye contact. Around 10 p.m., Chen updated me. Sufficient for arrest tonight. Mom gasped. But the wedding? The wedding is secondary now, Chen said. Bail for this scale, likely $500,000 to $1 million. Parents looked horrified. They had only pledged $30,000 due to investment shortfalls. Bondsmen would require 10% cash upfront plus collateral.
Dad sat heavily. We don't have that.
Then she stays in custody until trial, Chen stated. Federal cases often took 6 to 12 months. Ryan confronted me briefly. This is your fault. You're destroying her life over money. Chen intervened. Step back. Sir. Ryan stormed out, announcing he was canceling the wedding. He couldn't marry a felon. Lauren sobbed harder upon hearing. Mom pointed accusingly. You've ruined everything because you're jealous she's prettier and more successful. Successful. I repeated. She committed fraud because she couldn't afford her own event. I have a decade-built career upholding the law. Mom's face crumpled. How can you be so cold? She's your sister. She's a thief, I corrected. If a stranger did this, you'd demand justice. The only difference is DNA. At 10:47 p.m., Lauren was formally arrested. The FBI agent read her Miranda rights as she cried. Mom tried hugging her, but agents processed her. Dad looked aged, frozen. As they led Lauren out in handcuffs, she glared through tears. I hate you. I'll hate you forever. Okay, I replied simply. The restaurant emptied near midnight. The manager handled the $19,500 bill. I paid it with the same card Lauren misused, adding 20% gratuity for the staff's ordeal. He said quietly, I think you did the right thing. Chen drove me home. Hell of a Friday night. Harper. Sorry for mobilizing the team. Don't apologize. You're one of our best because you don't make exceptions. Law applies equally. My apartment, modest, paid off with savings Lauren mocked, felt quiet. Messages flooded in from relatives, alternating pleas to drop charges and accusations of heartlessness. I ignored most, replying only to cousin Zoe, who missed the event. Abbreviated version received supportive response. The story leaked quickly. Local news by Saturday afternoon. Federal agent's sister arrested in $195,000 credit card fraud. Screenshots from deleted videos spread online. Public reaction was harsh. Memes about confessing crimes to a federal agent. Comments affirming no one is above the law. By Sunday, the story went viral. Colleagues left supportive messages and a humorous cake at work Monday. Congrats on the arrest. Dark humor was standard in our unit. Chen called me in. U.S. Attorney's Office wanted an aggressive prosecution as an example case against rising credit card fraud, especially where perpetrators assumed family immunity. They pursued 8 to 12 years given premeditation, amount, and lack of early remorse. Arraignment Tuesday. Lauren appeared via video from detention in orange jumpsuit, looking diminished. Prosecutor outlined charges, multiple counts of credit card fraud, identity theft,
wide fraud.
Defense sought lower bail, citing no priors. Prosecutor highlighted flight risk from scale and planning. Judge set bail at $750,000. Parents in gallery look shattered.
Outside.
Reporters asked my feelings. No comment. One pressed on handling privately. I paused. Crime is crime, regardless of who commits it. No separate justice for family connections. That became the headline. Mom left tearful voicemails accusing me of destroying Lauren, claiming I wasn't her daughter anymore for valuing law over family. I saved it as evidence of manipulation patterns. 3 weeks later, Lauren took a plea. 8 years federal prison, 5 years supervised release. Full restitution of $193,472 plus fees.
Permanent record.
Ryan filed to annul the engagement. Venue kept deposits. Parents took a second mortgage to repay me immediately, hoping it softened sentencing. It didn't. Judge clarified restitution made victim whole, not reduced perpetrator consequences. At sentencing, Mom testified sobbing about Lauren's good character and one mistake. Dad called her generous. Judge responded, this was calculated theft over months with planning. No remorse until consequences. Lauren sobbed as led away. Mom collapsed. Dad glared with hatred. I returned to work. 6 months later, promotion to supervisory special agent overseeing multi-state financial crime probes. Colleagues valued integrity, competence. Family fully excluded me events, group chats.
Will.
But I found real family in my team. Chun at ceremony. Agent Harper chose duty without hesitation. That's courage. Lauren serving at FCI Danbury. Eligible early release after good behavior in 6 years. I hope reflection leads to growth. But not my concern. Doing right costs family ties. But what I lost wasn't worth keeping. Sometimes integrity means standing alone. Yet it rebuilds self-respect stronger. The question lingers, where does family loyalty end and justice begin?